You sure are quick on the trigger, man. It's amazing. I don't agree with your package. I don't like your package because on Monday, you were too quick on the trigger saying, hey, players, jump on this opportunity. You can't let this go by. And now we're here on Wednesday, and you're saying, let's put some terms to this opportunity, to this idea. But what you don't do is set the market. What you don't do is react to a headline, not to a proposal. So I don't like your terms because why limit myself? Why not go up to 51%? Right now, we're in fluctuation between 47 and 48.5% in terms of the split with the owners. Why say that we can't go 50 plus and then see what happens? But you know how I'll know when it's time to respond to their proposal as they're having their meetings today, tomorrow, and Friday about the CBA? Pressure. Pressure creates leverage. Pressure from the TV networks. Hey, NFL, how's that looking? We'll get back to you. Pressure from the fan base. How's this going to work? 16 games, 18 games, I pay it for 2 games. No Tom Brady, boo. And then pressure from the players, which is that awkward silence of y'all figured this out yet? And when they calculate all that external pressure from its fan base and from those networks, they'll come to the NFLPA with something I think that's even grander what you're proposing. So therefore, I just pause until I see something hard on the table.
I like it. I like this proposal. We talked about the other day of DeMaurice Smith coming to the table or the NFL coming to the table without a definitive plan, right? 16 games, the guy's going to sit out. How do we divide this money up? If you do 50-50, it's an easy situation. There's no fine print to read. There's no where this money going to go. Okay, the NFL come to the table. Okay, you guys got 50%. Do whatever you want with it. If you want to play your guys 16 games, play him 16 games. You want to play him 18, but we're going to come to the table with a definitive plan and say, you guys figure it out. That's a plan that the NFL can easily come to DeMaurice Smith and NFLPA and simplify, because I like simplicity. Let's go sit down. You guys have 50%. You find out what to do with it. You want to play 16 games. If the fans are mad because your starter's not playing, that's on you guys. But we're going to give you 50%.
Well, when we played, we got 50%.
Thank you.
And so that was a norm for us. Now
it's not the norm now.
In the new CBA, that's why the owners are so happy, because it was dropped down to 47 to 48.5%. Now, 50% is the minimum we get. And it can't just be, the problem is what the players have always worried about, and you're going to say that's what it should be, is about the money. We're going to get 50%, and there has to be one thing that means something to the players that they get as well, whether it's medical insurance, whether it's a partial guarantee on your contract. I mean, if you sign a 6-year deal, the first 4 years should be guaranteed regardless. If you sign a 4-year deal, all 4 years should be guaranteed. Those things are going to matter to the players. It's not about, we get 50%, that's $750,000 more per year. What else do we get outside of that? Because as of what you say, if it's the pressure and they really want this, then they're going to give in.
Look, what I'm arguing is there's an opportunity for negotiation and I think major upside for NFL
I'm cutting you off. You need to get put on retainer, too, with the PA. You got some great points. They need to put you on a retainer.
Again, and that's what I'm saying. There's a chance to make an argument to the public that the public will be on your side, because I just don't – you're not going to get the public and or ownership on your side about guaranteed contracts.
Never.
But I think you can get them on – hey, man, NBA and Major League Baseball players are getting more of a cut of the money than we are. You can win that argument. And so whether – you get to 50% in year 1 of the agreement and 50.5 in year 2 and 51 the next year. Those, to me, are reasonable goals and what you should be looking for. And again, rather than defining what you're against, what are you for? And what you're really for, I want more of this money because we've earned it. We're the best at driving television ratings. We need to be treated like, okay, y'all don't want to give us guaranteed contract, but just give us more of that money so we can make more money sooner. That, to me, should be the goal.
It's concrete, but I still think it's premature. One, you're negotiating against yourself in terms of setting the market. But two, you always perceived in negotiations with your first offer as your high. Think about it. In any negotiation, when you come in with a number, that's the ceiling, brother. So now we coming down, we going to now negotiate down to a different place. That's why I don't like this. Because if we start at 50, we're going to end up somewhere where we are.
But Marcellus, when I started talking about what your goal is, I'm not saying what your negotiating
That's not what we come in at.
Again, so y'all might sit around as a group in private, say, you know what, our number is 50. And so he's going to go argue in the public, we want 52. because that's what Major League Baseball has. Why can't we get it? Our careers are shorter. We're taking more risks. We're driving more television ratings. We're the best at this. And y'all, I'm telling you, that's an argument I think all fans will be like,
okay, you responded to my second layer, my first layer. Why would you set the market first? How come you don't wait for the NFL?
I'm having a private conversation amongst football players. I'm not the DeMaurice Smith.
Was the NFL's idea private? No. It's already out there. So why?
But the NFL already know these owners been doing it for so long. They already know what they will and won't do.
100%.
They already know what they're willing to get before they come to the table. You saying, we talked yesterday about negotiating against yourself. The owners already know what they will and won't do. And I agree with TJ. Like, if you're going to come into the table, come with the 50%, right? Because that's your starting point or your ceiling, whatever you want to say it. Okay, now we're gonna bend a little bit more. Now we're gonna give the first 4 years guaranteed in healthcare. Now, if that happens, DeMaurice Smith looked like the bad guy. If the NFL comes in and says, we're going to give you 50%, that's the start negotiation point. Now, in the middle or towards the end of that negotiation point, we'll give you health care and we'll give you 4 years guaranteed. Once that hits the public and the NFLPA doesn't agree to that, the NFL and DeMaurice Smith look like the bad guys. So if you come in there with the 50% guaranteed and negotiate from there, the NFL already knows what they will and won't give up.
Out of sequence. It's out of sequence. One, leverage. The NFL owners know what they're going to do because they have leverage. This is a prime opportunity and a rare opportunity where the PA can have leverage. So sitting back and waiting is allowing them to have leverage. Two, distill what you just said. The NFL right now in this proposal doesn't know which way is up. Let's just be real. They have not connected all the dots. They have not made this situation where they know how the 18 and 16 game is going to land with its public and with its players.
Marcellus,
so just wait.
They don't have to have it figured out, for one.
Right.
And two,
as long as the money's there.
Right. And two, they're not going to get beat up for coming with a proposal that calls for more games without having player input. They can only be figured out together to make it work in the public where they won't get beat up. And then the other thing, Marcellus, is there's no one that owns an NFL team or anyone that's a lawyer representing the NFLPA who doesn't already know there's one goal line here. And the goal line is what percentage of revenue are the players going to get. Yeah. That's all given. So it's an argument about where we're going to land on this number. And I'm saying use this 18-game deal to come up with an argument that gets you to the goal line or maybe even past the goal line to 51% or whatever. But the argument is about what percentage of revenue. It doesn't. That argument's been going on for decades.
Okay, and I respect that, but I don't want to get caught up in semantics. We are agreeing that we're going to call this play. But see, you remind me of when I was a young player and I had a best move, and I said, I know this is going to work. And I went out there and did it too early. And then I realized I got to set you up, brother, as a tackle. I can't use my best move too early. So guess what I'm saying? Let's call that play. Let's use that move. But know when to use it in sequence. And I just think right now, they just had their first meeting about the CBA today. I don't think day one you sit there and say, here are our terms. Well, I want to see you get desperate.
But see, both sides know. The owners know we're only going this far.
Right.
And DeMaurice Smith and the NFLPA know this is where we want to get. They both know how far each will bend. It's just, to me, I was a rep for 7 years, so I've been in these meetings. I know what goes on. It's the big thing is the money's going to come. It's the benefits that come with it is what guys are worried about. And so the 50%, whatever it may be, that's going to come. It's everything else that matters that the public doesn't really care about. All they see, the players got X amount percent or the owners. It's the other things as well.
I'm going to say this. If you look at what everybody has said, from Roger Goodell and the NFL side they're trying to get a deal done before the start of this season. And to me, that screams
they don't have a lot of time.
This screams that, but it also
desperation.
Yeah, it does, because it's like there's this pot of gold out here that the TV networks have for us right now. And so we need to be putting these things into place so we can strike. If we don't get this deal done and it goes all the way into next year, the pot of gold might not be as big. We just don't know. So there's not a lot of time. And look, you're arguing about 49%, 50%, 51%.
But Whitlock, that's what got them in trouble last time. You know why the players conceded down to 47 to 48.5%? Because the NFL owners convinced them that you can take less of more. The game is growing, just take a little less percentage. And the players say, you know what, y'all got us. We've been locked out for 4 months. Okay. Now, I'm saying right now, you got the NFL where you want them because they are getting pressure from other billionaires, not from players who need a check, from TV networks like, we give y'all money. So just wait. They're going to cave.
Marcellus, you're making my point. They settled for less last time.
Of more.
My argument is don't be a fool again. DeMaurice Smith talked y'all into some dumb stuff. Don't be a fool again. Don't get caught up in guaranteed. Don't get caught up in guaranteed contracts, and don't get caught up in we'll never play 18 games under any circumstance. The hell you won't if there's enough money.
I would too.
So he's not representing the voice of the players because the voice of the players. Oh yeah, we will for the right price.
He's representing the power of the players.
That's what it is.
The power, not the voice right now. It's about the power. There are billionaires yelling at billionaires. I'm going to let them fight that out, Whitlock. Then I'm going to jump in. That's what you're supposed to do in sequence.
Again.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. And be sure to check out more of the best clips from Speak For Yourself or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.